What's up, Vetters? Patrick here with Vetted. I have what could be, depending on how you look at it, huge news. All right. So let me dive in and you can decide for yourself. I, for one, think it is pretty big deal. So Ryan Graves recently spoke at the Yale Student UFO Society. Yeah, that's a thing. And I guess during this presentation, Ryan said something that caught a lot of people's attention because there's a clip of this presentation going viral talking about a UFO program, and he's a part of it. And you know what? Let me just play the clip, the viral clip, and then stay with me because I found the whole presentation, and I'm going to play an even longer clip to give more context for exactly what he said. But first, here's the viral clip of Ryan Graves.
I've spent the past 8 months or so working with leadership at the National Science Foundation. And this recently culminated about a month ago, but the director of their technology innovation program is ready to publicly establish a UAP program office at the National Science Foundation. And I'm currently brokering a meeting with him and representatives within Congress to continue to work on that. And that is a key piece, I think, that is going to energize this innovation ecosystem to be able to actually, in the manner that we do with every other company and technology, in this country, start utilizing, natural resources and grant funding to be able to move this conversation forward.
Now, at first, this sounds crazy, right? Because they're only sharing that clip, right? He's starting this UFO program with the National Science Foundation, with the government. What's happening here? What have they found? Why are they doing this? What's happening? Nobody's really talking about any of that. They're just Ryan Graves, UFO program, boom. And I get it, right? That's just our attention span online. But like I said, I went to the full presentation. It's about 2 hours. I'm going to put a link in the description. It's right here. I found, the part in this presentation where he talks about this, and there's definitely more context needed. So I'm going to play this full clip that includes stuff before the viral clip and after, right? So the viral part is kind of in the middle there. But there was stuff he said before that and after that I thought you should hear if you want to get the full story of exactly what he's talking about.
This very much is a global phenomenon. I had a good conversation with the economic advisor about sightings they've been having. But we're really excited and fundraising actively now within the nonprofit to be able to formalize a reporting system and expand it internationally and be able to license that reporting system out to these individual companies, which will allow us to get a global look at the type of data we've been receiving in the United States, which can then arm those individual countries to have the same policies and reforms that we've had here within the country. On the technical and the VC side, I see great opportunity on the VC side. So much so that I spent a year trying to stand one up. I was unsuccessful in raising the funds, but would have been my first fund. But that tri-use model that I just described about, looking for technology that has those military as well as commercial use cases that might be relevant for the UAP topic extend beyond just sensing. It goes into advanced material science and metamaterials. It goes into exotic propulsion. It goes into communication systems, novel energy generation. And that work is going on. And, interestingly enough, some of the people that are doing this work have, claimed that they have worked on reverse engineering programs for the government. And, these are DARPA-funded efforts, Air Force research labs, and the like. And these particular cases I'm talking about often were funded by the National Science Foundation as well. And I've spent the past 8 months or so working with leadership at the National Science Foundation. And this recently culminated about a month ago, but the director of their technology innovation program is ready to publicly establish a UAP program office at the National Science Foundation. And I'm currently brokering a meeting with him and representatives within Congress to continue to work on that. And that is a key piece, I think, that is going to energize this innovation ecosystem to be able to actually, in the manner that we do with every other company and technology, in this country, start utilizing, natural resources and grant funding to be able to move this conversation forward. And again, it's not just sensing. The portfolio that we're talking about constructing goes into advanced material science and others that a lot of people would consider to be very adjacent, if not directly related to UAP. And again, that director has offered to brief Congress on technologies they've already invested in that would be part of this new portfolio. So we're seeing a lot of energy within kind of the startup ecosystem. We're starting to see it within some of those funding mechanisms. I've also worked with the Small Business Administration, who essentially controls the budget for the Office of Strategic Capital. That is another thing I've been considering as far as a strategic play to be able to empower the VC community in order to take on the risk that comes with something with what many might consider a slightly less defined market. But if you combine it with those traditional commercial and military markets, I think there's a very viable and predictable market there, especially in space, which is why I targeted it.
And there we go. Now we get the full context of why he decided to go there, right, specifically, and what exactly he's doing and, what he tried to start before, right? So it sounds like he tried to get a fund going. That didn't work out. He wanted to work with the National Research Laboratory, right? And they are working with him. He's helping broker this UAP program to study UFOs, right? Because he's also claiming that, they had funded other reverse engineering programs, allegedly, right? So to get in with them, who knows? Like, what does this mean? I don't think we really know exactly. And what's going to come of it, time will tell. But again, another UAP office. We're going to study this more, right? The stigma is being lifted. More people are wanting to get involved and study this. So I applaud Ryan Graves doing the work, getting out there, working behind the scenes. These are the type of things we don't know what people are doing behind the scenes and things they're working on. I mean, I have to admit, I'm in the same position, right? Not like that. I'm just saying I work on things behind the scenes. I don't tell you guys, and then it comes out, right? Whatever project or this or that or whatever. So what else are they working on behind the scenes, right? And what other things have they tried to do that just didn't work out for whatever reason? That would also be interesting to know. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? What effect will this new UAP program have? Will it compete with AARO? Will it work alongside AARO? Will it have nothing to do with AARO? And don't forget, AARO is the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. That's the Pentagon's office to study UFOs. So interesting to see if there's any collaboration or lack thereof. All right, vetters, we'll see you in the next video. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.